I woke up this morning and I was sick to my stomach, not in a good space, so I didn't go to work. So I'm home today and trying to calm my stomach down with bland nacho chips and bland food just so it'll settle down so I'll be fine later. And I will be. It's just one of those things where when your workplace is a 30-minute drive from home and you get in the vehicle and your stomach's already doing backflips and you're not even out of the parking lot yet, probably a sign you're not going to make it. Um, but there's something going on. Apparently, this is number 6 on trending according to YouTube. So I find it enlightening. After the Calgary-Anaheim game 2 was done, the announcers were in front of a hot mic. Now, you assume every mic is hot when you're an announcer. That's just a general rule. They didn't, and they talked about Dougie Hamilton not having a brain. So I don't think anybody should take that literally. I don't think they meant if you open up his skull, there's nothing in there. There's a little monkey clashing cymbals together. Um, but it raises an interesting point. Announcers go to every single game. They watch every single game. I went to 2 Canucks games this year. I was already changing my opinion on which players I liked based on what I saw sitting at a game. I can't imagine watching 82 games. Now, for Flames announcers, they watched a team last year that failed to make the playoffs. Now they've made the playoffs. They're against bitter rivals, the Anaheim Ducks. They can't make mistakes. And they've watched Dougie Hamilton make mistakes. Early in the season, mid-season, there were rumors Dougie Hamilton was on the market. Brian Burke shut that down, and it never happened. I'm a big Dougie Hamilton fan. Does he make stupid plays? Absolutely. That's why the first couple years he was in the NHL, every now and then he'd get his ass stuck to the bench by Claude Julien.
Is that what you appreciate about me?
Just go easy over there, squirrely down.
And I don't know.
Hey, look at you, bro.
That's my notification on my phone. If anybody caught that, it's Letterkenny. But Hamilton, anytime he makes a mistake, it's going to be magnified because of the position he plays. And it reminds me of a guy who's also got his butt stapled to a bench, Dennis Wideman. And you know, I took plenty of shots at Wideman when he was a Bruin, and I've continued on through wherever his career has left him. Personally, I don't think this should be a big deal. Is it? Probably. There's comments in the video stating, well, these guys will be looking for work. They're stating how they feel. And I don't blame them. Like I said, they've watched every single Flames game to this point. And now, you know, they're so close, and they're watching Dougie Hamilton screw it up. I remember when I started calling Momesso Meathead in Vancouver. And I liked Serge. Sergio Momesso, the first year he was in Vancouver, they played those 11 games at the end of the year, and I was like, wow, this guy's big, he can hit, he's got decent hands. This is cool. This is good. And his first full year in Vancouver, there were a lot of moments where I was like, well, that was kind of a dumb penalty, but, you know, he's got a goal tonight, so it's all right. And I'd kind of balance it out. Year 3, so his second full year in Vancouver, that's when I started calling him Meathead. The scoring wasn't as reliable, and I was not a fan of his work a lot of nights. Sergio Momesso was a good hockey player. But as a fan, I had my moments where I said things about him. Announcers, as fans, are going to say things. It wouldn't be as prevalent. I'm sure if you had hot mics on every announcing team, for the national broadcasts, where you've got, say, a Jim Houston watching a game between, like, I don't know, Ottawa and Buffalo, something like that, odds are Houston's not going to be as passionate. But if it's a team like Toronto that he covers a lot, or a team like Vancouver that he's covered for over a decade, I could see on hot mic him, but I couldn't see him swearing necessarily, but I could see him saying things. Because people see things and say things. I can't believe it's 2017 and this is where we're at. It's sort of, it's along the same line as this channel's grown, and I've looked at what YouTube wants and they don't want, and they want family friendly. Everything G-rated basically. So if I want to post videos that everybody likes, I'll get some cute little organ music and post pictures of my kittens playing. But it's not real life. And I think what people on YouTube want is real. So I try to balance on here real and family friendly so that I don't lose support from YouTube, because YouTube can bury a channel. Absolutely. But when you look at the rest of television, it's going the other way. So whether it's advertisers or Google or whoever it is, they seem to be resisting what's really going on. The most popular shows are not the old G-rated material from the 80s or the late 70s. They're pretty crude shows. Whether it's Game of Thrones, years back it was Dexter, was really big. Big Little Lies, I was watching there a while ago until I spoiled the ending for myself because I just couldn't get the episodes in order. But it's got some crude material in it too. This is where reality is headed. And yet, it seems like advertisers and big companies want to fight it, and certain people want to fight it. Like, he's speaking his mind. He's saying how he really feels. I know my draft reaction video, which was a video I just did. I was like, I'm just going to do a live draft reaction video. If the Leafs win the draft reaction, I lost it. I was so ticked off. I was so angry. I was like, oh, the Leafs, not the Leafs. Anybody but the Leafs. I don't want to hear about Austin Matthews for the next year. Which is ironic, considering where my channel's gone the last year and how many times I've talked about Austin Matthews myself. But that was honest. It was real. And yet, it doesn't fit in that family-friendly vehicle that the media seems to want to put on us. I know the media had something to do with a lot of the things going on here. Isn't this awful? Isn't this terrible that there's these videos on YouTube where people speak their mind? Yeah, I get that there's hate speech. There's hate speech everywhere. And you can bury it, or you can acknowledge that it exists. You can confront it. But just to bury a platform based on what a very, very small minority is saying is crazy. It's crazy. And here, too, to bury the careers of a couple of announcers who are experienced and have been, in this case, it looks like they're Flames announcers who, you know, were expressing themselves. You can't bury their careers based on this. So the whole thing of, oh, they should get fired, and there's people saying it. Are you crazy? I want these guys in the booth. I want more of this in the booth. Not the swearing. You don't have to curse and swear. But that passion. Just look at it this way. So you're watching a game, it's tied late in the third. Say it's Vancouver and Calgary. And I'm a Vancouver announcer. And there's 3 minutes left. Lucas Biza trips a guy right in front of the ref. Now, the non-biased, politically correct way to do it is, well, and now there's a penalty coming up against the Canucks. Lucas Biza is going to go off for tripping. The way the fans, I think, would want to hear it would be, well, that was stupid. Lucas Biza is going off for tripping, and the Canucks are killing a penalty with 2 minutes left in the game. That's fantastic. Don't know what Biza was thinking there, but he really should have rethought that before he did what he did. Along those lines. There's two different ways to announce it. There's a way that the media thinks is the right way to do it, and then there's the other way, which is how we see it. Because I hear it all the time. You know, I talk hockey with guys at work, and there's always, did you see that stupid penalty last night? Is he retarded? That's what we say. They didn't say that. They did not say that. So, as bad as what they said might sound for people who are offended by swearing, they could have said way worse. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. And I'll link to the actual clip of what these guys said in the description for this video. Again, I really think that most announcers talk like this when they're not on the air. The ones for the local broadcasts. They likely talk about who the stupid player was that night, who screwed them over out of the game, and they probably get quite angry about it. Because when you're at every single game, you're going to get emotionally involved and emotionally invested in the situation. And isn't that what we want? Let me know what you guys think. I'll talk to you all again soon.